Okay, great. So today we're so honored to have Rishi Kumar here. So Rishi Kumar is a tech savvy in Silicon Valley, and he's only congressional candidate that with technical background in the past 3 decades. And he's also the front runner in 2023. So December 2023 polling shows that Rishi is leading this race. And in November 2022, Rishi won like 42% of the votes in this very congressional district. I would like to welcome Rishi, and I will also hand over to you. Welcome, Rishi. Great honor to have you.
It's an absolute pleasure to be here today, and I totally appreciate each of you taking the time to join us. And thank you to our sponsors. We couldn't do it without you. And thank you. You know, the reason why I'm running is because I would like to bring light everywhere. We are like brothers from another mother. And we both went to school in the New England area, actually. You know, UMass, UConn, big rivals in basketball, but we are friends here. You know, we found common ground with AI. And you know, my background is that of an innovator. And for decades, we have never had anybody who's tech savvy representing Silicon Valley in Washington. We have never had anybody. And then if you see some of the congressional tech hearings, how many of you have seen the congressional tech hearings in Washington? They turn into spoof videos because our congressional leaders are completely inept when it comes to technology. They are confusing what Microsoft does with what Google does, or an iPhone with an Android. They have absolutely no cloud idea. And in fact, when we talk about a cloud, they actually think about the cloud in the sky. You know? So anyway, I mean, that's the kind of issues we are dealing with. And when you look at, for example, the social media algorithms and how they have wreaked havoc upon people, how many of you saw the hearing with Mark Zuckerberg, where he had to turn around and apologize to the families? And to some extent, you know, it went a little haywire, and we didn't really apply some sort of guardrails when it came to social media. It was a nascent industry. Section 230, I have a policy on that. If you go to rishikumar.com/tech, you will find a policy perspective on Section 230, but also in terms of AI and all the innovation that we are doing out here. Now, you know, I'll sort of like to make it interactive. I really don't talk for like 45 minutes because everyone falls asleep, including myself, you know. So essentially a quick perspective, like Dr. Fang said, you know, we did 42% of the votes in the last 2022 election against an incumbent who announced retirement, and after serving in political office for 46 long years. And so we challenged for the right reasons, because we felt that this district needed a strong voice in Washington. And that was the reason why we decided to engage in a congressional campaign. Served 2 terms of the city council in Saratoga, re-elected with the highest votes in 66 years of our city, for taking on the big challenges and addressing them. For example, I called out PG&E with all the transgressions upon people. They are subverting solar today. They are jacking up their rates. They're really not addressing the challenges of us. You know, people are suffering because people are not able to pay their bills. It's the most expensive utility company in the United States. And then we see all the San Bruno explosion. We see the Paradise Fire. So it needed somebody like me to challenge them. San Jose Water Company, if you get a bill from San Jose Water Company, we have saved you money, hundreds of dollars, by rejecting 10 of their water rate increases. So my run is about people, people-centric values. And I seek to take this ideology, the energy, the innovation, the approach to Washington, because we believe we can do a lot of stuff only if we are interested to serve the interest of the people and not be driven by lobbyists. How many of you believe that Washington is completely driven with a lobbyist-driven agenda? I see quite a few hands. Because that's the transgression upon the American people which has been going on for decades. And we are being left behind. Right now, America has been derailed. We are being derailed because we are making choices that are not in keeping with what will create a prosperous future for each of us. I see a lot of young folks here, high school, college students, and our future is currently in jeopardy because our political interest are not really addressing the challenges that we should expect them to. We have been very lucky. We have had over 2,000 volunteers that came from different parts of the congressional district to help us out, and also from the United States. Lots of young high school and college students who joined us. So if you have a child in high school or college, or if you have friends, then let them know that they can join our campaign. It's rishikumar.com/fellowship. And now the keyword search works really amazing. You get in there, you type climate or you type tech, and you will find lots of policy papers. I believe we have more policy papers than the rest of the 10 candidates combined. We have taken the time to do the research. We have Stanford professors who are on our team, and we have done the research of what the challenges of the district are, what the challenges of America are, and we are truly interested, invested to address these types of challenges. Now, one of the pledges we have taken is we have decided that we will not accept the dark tainted money, which is from PACs and special interest groups, definitely not from PG&E. We are not taking their money. So every dollar that we get comes from people. And I believe this screen here has a QR code. If you scan that, you can actually take you to our website, and you can actually make a contribution. But every dollar has to come from people, not just special interest groups. And now when you look at some of the policy areas that we are emphatic about, it's artificial intelligence is a component of that. We talked about Section 230. We believe I'm the only E/ACC candidate. So anybody knows what that is?
Let's go. Accelerate.
Yes, technology is an accelerator, and that's what I believe in, E/ACC. And I'm the only candidate in this race. And when it comes to AI, I believe AI is going to be a huge enabler. It's going to be an enabler of prosperity for all of us in different verticals. And we'll get into the details with Dr. Fang is going to put me on the hot seat, and I'm looking forward to the questions. But we'll talk a little bit about that. Now, I would like to, I met with all of you, many of you, and I would like to explain the district, the congressional district. So this is a position to run for US Congress, which is to be the House of Representatives in Washington from District 16. There are 52 districts in California, 52, and a total of 435 congressional districts in America. Take the total population divided by 435, you get the population of each congressional district, and that's 760,000 people. Now this district is Palo Alto, Mountain View, Los Altos Hills, Portola Valley, Woodside, Atherton, Menlo Park, Pacifica. We have Montara, Moss Beach, La Honda, Ladera, and San Gregorio, and we also have Half Moon Bay, along with San Jose, Las Gatas, Montesino, Campbell, Saratoga, and so anybody wants to go through the list? Well, the reason I remember this very well is because we have gone knocking and talking and canvassing in all these different neighborhoods across the congressional district. We have knocked on over 150,000 doors, which is greater than the rest of the 10 candidates that they have canvassed, because it's a new race. They have all jumped in the last 30 days. But we have been at it, we have been knocking on doors, having conversations. So if you see our lawn signs are everywhere in the congressional district, which reminds me, we have lawn signs sitting outside. If you live in the congressional district, which is all these cities I mentioned, please take one and put it on your front lawn, or put it in your patio, or give it to a friend. Please feel free to take one before you leave. And I would really be very honored to have your support. But at this point, what we'll do is we'll have a conversation. We'll have a conversation about AI or about anything else. We'll try to make it interactive. Dr. Fang has a few questions. We'll get that going. And then after that, we'll take audience questions. I'm absolutely open to any and all types of ideas you have. I'm also learning from each of you when you bring up these questions. And it basically guides me. It coaches me. I need that mentorship to make sure that I'm addressing your challenges and the challenges of the people. So again, thank you so much. It's an honor to be here. And I truly appreciate all of you taking the time to be here. Thank you so much.
Okay, great. So we'll move to the next part. So I'll do an interview with Rishi. Please be seated. Yeah, it's a great honor to have you here, Rishi, and your journey from the tech company to public service offer like unique perspective of the future technology. So first question for you is, with the deep roots in Silicon Valley tech landscape, how do you envision the future of AI shaping this region's economy and the technology development?
So, you know, I think if you look at, how many of you have been to the HP garage in Palo Alto? Yes, I mean, that was probably the first thing I did. We moved from Michigan in 2000, and I said, hey, I want to check this out. You know, this is where Silicon Valley started. And it's a bunch of, oh, thank you so much. Thank you, sir. And, you know, we saw that what brought me here is because of the innovation. And the dot-com boom was happening, and we see the changes in direction that have happened with Silicon Valley over the last 20 years since my time here. And when I look at AI, AI is going to be a harbinger of a lot of good for the world. I use AI pretty much every day. I use ChatGPT. I'm a paid subscriber of ChatGPT. Also, I use Bing, I use Bard, I use Claude. I use pretty much anything. And I'm harnessing it to create efficiencies for my own life. And it's pretty amazing, you know, how quickly we have all adopted it. How many of you are using some sort of a generative AI framework on a daily basis? Pretty much everybody, right? Because this is creating a world of efficiency. And I'll be very candid with you. When I get an email sometimes, I will put it on my ChatGPT and say, can you respond to this email? And I pretty much get 80% good, you know, 80% is good, and then I reply that. But when I look at the current, when you look at somebody like Senator Elizabeth Warren, she's calling AI as the big evil, and it's not. You know, if we had called the steam engine as the big evil, I would be pulling up here in a horse-drawn carriage today, you know. So we have to, again, I'm a E/ACC, I believe technology is an accelerator, and we can do a lot of good with that. And then when I look at how many